Turn the mic on. Truth in the building. No filters. No politics. No apologies. Dr. Ken, let's go. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fade. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Came from the bottom when survival was a law. Learn real quick what respect really costs. Everybody got opinions from afar, but they ain't never had to carry those scars. Built from pressure, discipline, pain. Some lose focus, some lose aim. Some sell souls just to chase that fame. I build my brick by brick, no shame. See the world get weak when it need a moment. Too many followers pretending they friends. Too many loudmouths scared to defend any real conviction when the pressure set in. But I stand on business, stand on code, stand on truth when the lies explode. Some fold up when the road gets cold. Some become legends when the story gets told. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground breaks. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken is on.
Truth don't sleep.
Frank. Candid.
Straight to the point.
If nobody else gon' say it, I will. Yeah. Mic check, truth coming live again. Built for the storm, I don't hide from wind. Everybody tough when the lights are bright. Different story when it's dark outside at 10. I done seen pride make kings collapse. Seen weak minds get trapped in traps. Seen good people never fight back. Seen fake leaders disappear too fast. So I speak for the workers, speak for the tired, speak for the people still trying to climb higher. Speak for the ones still building through fire, trying to lead this world better than prior. And if the truth hurt, let it hurt a little. Growth don't happen staying safe in the middle. Either build your life or become a riddle. Either move the crowd or get played like fiddle. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Oh! Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Candid.
Straight to the point, to the point.
All I can say is good day and welcome to day 2 of Dr. Ken's Truth. I am your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Want to say welcome to everybody in the chat. Hey, what's up, Lucretia? What's going on? What's up, SE? Not really a city girl. And of course, Kawanda, who is the monitor of Study Hall. So we are getting in today and it's going to be a glorious day. It is warm outside. It's 82 degrees. Feels like 82 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 87. So I don't know what's that going to do, but the low tonight's going to get around 60. That's still good to be out. I had a few people that were complaining about, well, they weren't complaining. They were notifying me that, you know, when you watch on YouTube, there's a lag in what you hear and, you know, your lips moving. And I said, well, that's because I have to go through a system. Otherwise I would have to have 1,000 followers in order to go direct to YouTube. So as many people as you can tell and as fast as you can tell, but this is a easier, better, more efficient way to do it. Hey, what's up, Mal? Yep, we are in session. Well, I have a 3-minute or so theme that plays at the beginning, give people time to get in and do all that stuff and everything. So that's what's up. That's what's up. So I've been kicking around a lot of things today, and I want to talk about something. in Wisconsin that should probably frustrate every single taxpayer in the state. I'm not talking about Republicans. I'm not talking about Democrats or independents. I'm talking about taxpayers. So working people, seniors, young people, middle-aged, homeowners, parents, apartment dwellers, people trying to survive while we got inflation. We got property taxes that just went up and drove people crazy. And of course, when you buy food, the cost of living. There's a story today on CBS58.com. And according to a new poll, nearly 80% of Wisconsin voters believe lawmakers should have passed that state surplus deal. 80%. That's not narrow. That's not a partisan split. That's not Republican, Democrat, black, white, Hispanic. It's a political earthquake. The proposed deal would have used part of Wisconsin's multi-billion-dollar surplus to give a rebate check, property relief, some funding for special education for schools, all that. Single taxpayers would have got $300, married couples $600, property relief, investment in K through 12 education. But somehow, Wisconsin lawmakers, as dumb as they are, blew it up. Now, reasonable people can disagree on policy. You can debate on how much money should be spent. $500 million, $1 billion, 900 million, all that. You can debate whether rebates are temporary relief, long-term strategy. I say it should probably be temporary. That's fair. That's democracy. But what happens? What becomes ridiculous is when the government has the money, the public tells the people that they elected to office that they support the plan, both parties at the negotiating table, and these idiotic elected officials still can't get the deal across the finish line. At that point, I think people in Wisconsin, and especially me, I don't think government is serious. This wasn't a situation when Wisconsin was broke. Wisconsin now has a surplus. That means you have money that you took in that was more than you spent. So taxpayers are asking the question, if the state has billions sitting and families like families right here in Milwaukee are struggling, what exactly are you waiting for? People are tired of political performance. They're tired of acting like compromise is surrender. You can't give the other side anything. Politics is less about solving problems. It's about protecting what I like to call ideological purity, campaigning. And of course, we see it coming now, midterm elections. Some Democrats complained about the plan. Yeah, they always do. Democrats will always complain. Republicans will always complain. They said it's short term. It's fiscally risky. It's risky to spend money that's extra over and above what you have. Republicans objected to the part of the spending structure. Other people argued the deal could create a future budget concern. Really? Well, those are legitimate, I guess. But let me ask this question. When y'all gonna govern? Because the public already told you what they wanted. Marquette Law School poll, even after voters were informed about all the concerns about possible future deficits, the number only dropped from 80% in favor to 70%. That they wanted them to pass the deal now rather than delay. So think about that. It's like idiotic Wisconsin lawmakers are. And I'm calling all of them out. The voters heard the warning. They heard the criticism. And they still said, pass the bill. And this is where Wisconsin politicians and state government lose credibility. Politicians constantly tell the government, the people, the public, they're fighting for working families like you and me, fighting for communities, fighting for homeowners, schools, taxpayers. But when an opportunity arises to actually put money, money, back in people's pockets, while still funding public needs, while still suddenly everybody finds a reason to walk away. Let me help you, Wisconsin state government. Voters are not stupid. They understand when politics get in the way of common sense. What does that mean? That means that this leaves politicians with one title. Not representative, not senator, not governor. Stupid. The deal represented something people say they want more of. Compromise. Governor Tony Evers negotiated with Republican legislative leaders. That rarely happens anymore in politics. And instead of celebrating bipartisan cooperation, it collapsed. From extremists on both sides, political calculation on both sides. That's the part that should have everybody concerned. Because if lawmakers can't come together when we have extra money on what to do with it, when there's broad public support, 80%, when there's bipartisan negotiation, what exactly can government do? People in Wisconsin and Milwaukee are dealing with rising grocery prices, utility bills are going up, housing costs, economic uncertainty. We're not asking the government to make us rich. We're just asking you to stop making life harder. Kind of makes sense. A rebate check is going to do nothing. It's not going to solve anything. Property tax relief may not solve everything. More school funding, well, we've been going up and up and up and up and up and up and up for 40, 50 years. That hasn't solved anything. But to reject everything, all of it, and you still got billions in surplus money, that means you're disconnected from reality. Government should not hoard trust the same way they hoard money. But that's what they're doing. If taxpayers are paying into the system and the system is financially healthy, then the taxpayers, us, should benefit of that success, not government. Because at some point, leadership requires making decisions that help people now rather than merely protecting political talking points for the midterm election cycle. Wisconsin voters spoke loudly on the issue. The lawmakers only had to do one thing. They should have listened. And that's frank, candid, and straight to the point. That's Dr. Ken's Truth for May 26, 2026. Your thoughts, your comments in the YouTube chat, you can hit me up. I don't understand it. For the life of me, I do not understand how and why we have all this money sitting here and nobody does anything with it. That is how stupid. This is how stupid Wisconsin government is. It's really unfortunate because there's so many things that Black families can be doing. There's so many things that Black families can be completing as we go along, but I just don't understand. Let me check this talk and text line before I keep going. Hey, what's up, Sir Chance? Sir Chance said, no pun intended, this past Friday afternoon for authorized the stop sticks as you were trying to skate out of the building after your show. Your cameo at Tori's after show was great. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, what's up? Look at Sincere. He finally made it. Sincere, Ronnie Ray Real. Okay, and now Lucretia and Kwana doing the bestie thing. And it just goes on now. Hey, what's up, Babar? What's up? See, everybody's coming back in. It's good to see each and every one of you. So, I'm debating. Let me take a little break, a little short break. And when we come back, I want to talk about Black people. Does that make sense? I want to actually talk about Black family assets. Does that make sense? All right. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth. Well, I'm back. I'm Dr. Ken Harris, and you're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth on this Tuesday, May 26, 2026. So I came across a story on oh, where'd it go? Where'd my story go? I came across a story on thegrio.com about Black families, about how there are 10 assets that Black families need in order to be successful. And I thought it would be important that we take a look at these because one thing we have to understand is that we as Black people have to start looking at ourselves in a different way. We have to start to function as parents, right? In a different way. So there's a story that talks about Black parents support positive social identity, high educational expectations. Black parents are about transforming positive message about children's cultural background. So there's some information in here that we hear about black kids all the time, but it's not so dire. What I'm trying to do is change the way that we look at ourselves and the way we look at what we do in Milwaukee. So from the Black Press, blackpressusa.com. Now, this is adapted from Being Black is Not a Risk Factor. That's from the National Black Child Development Institute. I know it's pretty much opposite of everything everybody says about being Black. I know. However, I want you to take a look at this. I want you, if you get a chance, to go to blackpressusa.com and you know, let me do this. Let me just put it in the YouTube chat so that you all can take a look at this article yourselves so that you can see exactly what it is that I am talking about. Number one, 79% of Black households have at least one parent who's employed. This is similar to white households at 80% based on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. But the narrative would have you think that Black people are just struggling and all that. Number two, more Black children live in a household with a mother with a bachelor's degree or higher, that's 22%, than in one with less than a high school diploma, which is 13%. Furthermore, almost 9% of Black people over the age of 25 have a graduate or professional degree. That's up from 7%. Number three, almost 80% of Black families of preschoolers. This is 4K, 3K, I don't know, whatever that is. Read to their children at least 4 days a week or tell a story. Early home literacy practices have a positive effect on a child's early language and literacy and later reading achievement and school outcomes. Think about that, 80%. Number four, Black parents positively support social identity, high educational expectations. Parents will whoop you upside the head if you come in with anything less than a B, in some cases less than an A. Black parenting is about transmitting positive messages about cultural background, heritage, identity, and holding children to high expectations. That's related to their behavior, something we're not seeing today, and academic learning. In line of Afrocentric parenting, these are the parents that do just Black parents emphasize values in their children's rearing practices, such as family interconnectedness, you know, generations knowing generations, independence, obedience, behaving well, respecting others. But yet when we look on TV, all we see is teen takeovers. Number five, 3 out of 4 Black children are in formal early care and education by age 4. Likely to be in care before age 1. Unfortunately, being in care doesn't guarantee that the care is affordable or high quality. And as you well know, even here in Milwaukee, Black families have difficulty related to the cost of care, meeting the eligibility requirements. You got to, you know, they set it up with the government where if you make too much money, you can't get child care that costs enough. Number 6, Black children score high for cognitive skills at 9 months old. Let that sink in. Number 7, Black children have strong social skills, especially cooperation during play. Social emotional skills are positively associated with children's academic achievement. If you get along with people, you tend to do well in school. Black children show strong competency in this area, especially as it concerns emotional regulation, attention, and positive coping strategies, something our generation, our race, teaches from a child. Number 8, Black children have strong oral narrative and storytelling skills that are part of their cultural roots and supportive of our learning. We know that already. Studies show that oral language is a strong skill set of Black children compared to other children, and it actually predicts, if you could tell the story, probably good or bad, probably true or not, it's predictive of their early literacy and later achievement in school. And number 9, more Black children ages, listen to this close, more Black children ages 3 to 5 are able to read words in a book compared to other children. Got that? Black children, more Black children ages 3 to 5, those formative years, right, are able to read in a book compared to other children. Data from Boston, Massachusetts showed that 16% of Black children are able to read words in a book. Furthermore, 38% of Black children in this age group recognize all their letters of the alphabet, and 69% can count to 20 or higher. So what does that say about Black intellect? And then finally, and these are things that you keep hearing from school districts that want more money to quote unquote put in the classroom, but it keeps showing up in teacher salaries and administrator salaries, but never quite making it to the kid where they learn. They give them a Chromebook. They give them all these instruments and little idiosyncrasies. No, that's the wrong word. Little useless things that don't help them learn more. Black students, when they hit 4th grade, right? Reading proficiency, right? Remember, because 4th grade is where they start teaching enrichment. They don't teach reading anymore. They stop teaching reading in 3rd grade. Black students' 4th grade reading proficiency has increased by 36 points since 1971. But we keep hearing Black kids can't read, can't write, can't do arithmetic. Is it true in some school districts? It is staggeringly true here in Milwaukee, but we see from statistics from across the country that all hope is not lost. So our children can do the work. They can do and take the information and work it through and talk about it and be what they need to be in order to grow and be productive citizens here in America. So I disagree. I think Black children are smart. I disagree with all the chatter and all the, oh my God, children are so bad. Oh my God, children are so, yeah, they become teens and they kind of act like a knucklehead, as we all did. We just didn't get caught. We were just smarter, but we didn't get caught, and we didn't have social media, so nobody knew. Our parents never knew. Our neighbors never knew. So we kind of got away with some stuff. But rest assured, today, that's not going to happen. So before I get to my top 4 at 4, let me go hit the talk and text line to see who has rolled up in here and who's talking about what. Let's see. Let me see. I stopped at Babar. Hey, what's up, Willie? Good to see you here in the talk and text line on Dr. Ken's Truth. Mouse said, not really city girl. Today is the first official day. Let's give Dr. Ken time. What was she complaining about? What was not really city girl? You have the streaming on lock, Dr. Ken. It all sounds and looks great. Now you just need some lighting in the background that looks like you're in a blackout. It's not that I'm in a blackout. I'm sitting with a black curtain behind me because I didn't get a step and repeat with my name on it and all that other nonsense and all that. Because I don't really need it. You know who I am. You got my face, right? Not really city girl. Always good. So who took up for me? Mal, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Curly Q? How you doing? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you, Mal. I appreciate that. Kawanda says, second day. Mal, we were in class for 30 minutes yesterday. We sure were. And you sure skipped class, did you? Not really. City Girl responded, nah, Mal, Dr. Ken telling me it's hot outside without saying it's hot outside and it's keeping all the lights off to stay cool. You know I am. You know, what was the temperature? Oh my gosh. Let me double check that. The temperature is 85 degrees. The high is 88. See, that's what I'm talking about. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Quanda said, yes, you did, Mao, and I will give you a pass this time because of the sadness of graduation last week. Hey, what's up, Kathleen? Y'all know Kathleen is a 75? 72? Around in there? White female who listens to Dr. Ken's Truth, and I want to say thank you for being here. See, now we've changed the top 4 at 4. It doesn't sound right. Well, I mean, I got to do 2 hours or at least got to get into the 5 o'clock hour. Tell you what. See what I'll do. Tomorrow, first of all, I need y'all to let people know to come in to subscribe and bring your friends. So I'm trying to get to my 1,000 so I can go straight to YouTube. But I might stay here because I like this. So I can do those things. So I'm just saying. Where did I leave off? Anyway, so hey, Kathleen. So anyway, the point was that I was making before Quanda, distracted me was if I'm gonna do top 5 at 5, then I'll have to at least go to the 5 o'clock hour, do top 5, and then roll out. Is that cool? All right. Miles said, not really a city girl. Well, I am making sure you are not peeping like the other class. Wow. Sincere, I'm not going to respond to some of those thoughts. I'm just not. At some point, Quanda said, well, I had to be distraction because you are the monitor. You're the team captain of study hall. So when everything goes great, like all these people being here right now, thank you, Kawanda. When things go bad, it's Kawanda's fault, right? Now, what I would do if I were you is you might want to hook up your bestie, Lucretia, and make her the assistant monitor or the monitor, like whatever you want to call her. And then that way I can blame her too. That's all I'm saying. No response is a response, so we understand what you didn't say. I know. I'm just saying. So trying so I wonder why ain't nobody tuning in. Okay, I'm done. Just tell all your friends where I'm at. Just tell all your peeps where I'm at. So I'm gonna do my top 4 at 4 because it's today. So we just gonna do today. But I do have it based on the story I just read from Black Press. I'm gonna start a poll. So it's a simple question. It's just a simple question. Is this positive for Black kids? I just got to ask, is this positive for Black kids? I think it is. I really think that we just need to be quiet about it. We need to just quietly build up our kids, send them to college, send them to the trade, send them to what they want to do. Don't not send your kid to college. Even if it's a 2-year college and they learn a trade, send them so they can have a degree. All right. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Good to see you. What's up, 77? What's going on? So here's the deal. Let me just get going because, y'all be driving me up a wall and be, hollering at me and stuff. So let me get my top. Let me get my. See, now I got to find them. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. This is always fun. I love being live. I love being here to just do what I do and do it. I just have to remember. I just have to remember never to hit. Oh, wow. I have to remember never to hit the wrong button because, I could just turn everything off and then it'll be, I don't know. It'll be pretty bad. I think it would be pretty bad. And then, so I'll do my, I guess tomorrow because Klonda beat me up. I guess I'll just do my top 5 at 5 at 5. I guess just gotta stay here and talk the whole hour. All right. Babar, it is not a boomer moment. I wish I could say. So what I'll do is show you all. I got 3 screens going, plus a whole console and a keyboard and a phone and all that. So be nice. Just be nice. Okay, let me see. See, here's your problem, Babar. Here's your problem. I get to delete your comments and I get to block you anytime I want. So be careful. I got you. You know I'm not going to. Come on. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth. And my pause is for 5.5 years, I said Truth in the Afternoon. So y'all going to have to, at the very least, for about a couple weeks or so, maybe a month, show some love. All right? At the very least, y'all need to show some love.
Number 4.
All right, so here's the deal. From thegrio.com, when a black person goes missing in America, the odds are always stacked against them. Not being found, people outside their family not even knowing they're gone. Well, Tamika Houston of Spartanburg, South Carolina, was one of them. And so a year after she disappeared, Natalie Holloway vanished. And we all know her name, her story, and all that stuff. It dominated the news. And it's disheartening to know that Tamika's aunt Rebecca reached out to those same reporters, same networks, same programs to get coverage for her niece and got nothing. Well, Natalie and her sister-in-law, Derica Wilson, former law enforcement officer and co-founder of Black and Missing Foundation, started digging and discovered that the pattern stretched far beyond one family in South Carolina. Now get this. People of color, non-whites, make up 40% of reported missing people in America, a figure that continues to grow since the organization was founded in 2008, when it stood at 30%, and primarily missing men. The founders believe the number is actually higher because a lot of people don't get reported missing. They just were gone. Natalie said she's in media relations, Derica's in law enforcement, and those are the 2 critical professions needed to find and bring our missing people home. So together, they combine media outreach with investigative knowledge to help find missing people. What keeps them motivated is the families still searching for answers about missing loved ones. Now, the name of this organization is Black and Missing Foundation. Got it? Black and Missing Foundation. They help find missing Black people. Now, 18 years later, the organization has forged partnerships with NBC's Dateline, the Washington, D.C. chapter of National Black Journalists, local and national newsrooms all over the country. That now they can just pick up the phone and call or send a message, say, hey, I need coverage, and they're there. Did you know that? Did you know that there were so many Black people missing and so many things that are not done because we don't bother to simply step up and look at the fact that Black people actually need extra coverage because the media doesn't follow us. The media doesn't necessarily lean towards us. We've seen in the last month or two or the last year how many Black people in journalism in the city of Milwaukee, especially in TV, that have been blown out the door or left or go their separate ways. One guy, I think from WISN 12, left after what, a year, 2 years? Gone. What is it about Milwaukee that causes people to do that? I don't know.
Number 3.
Did that play right? Let me do it again.
Number 3.
All right, there you go. I'm going to have to hit each of them twice so y'all can hear it. So this from CBS 58. Dozens of squad responded to where? Again, Bradford Beach. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office responded to Bradford Beach last night around 8:30. The Sheriff's Office says large groups of people were gathered at the beach for Memorial Day 17-year-old boy was arrested. 2 20-year-old women and an 18-year-old woman were taken into custody. 3 women were cited and released. All appeared to have minor injuries from the fight. Medically cleared by Milwaukee Fire Department. And it's ongoing. I think it's just sad that we have started summer already. Like, I'm not necessarily happy that all this stuff is going on, but it's only the day after Labor Day, and you see where we are already.
Number 2.
This from NBCnews.com. The Supreme Court on today turned away a bid by the National Football League to move a black coach's racial discrimination claim out of federal court and into arbitration proceedings controlled by the league. That doesn't even make any sense. The justices declined to hear an appeal by the NFL and 3 of its teams filed after a lower court ruled that the National Football League cannot force Brian Flores, the former Miami Dolphins head coach, current Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator, to arbitrate workplace violence claims through a process seen by the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, as if he's going to find anything against his own teams. The teams involved in the appeal: New York Giants, Denver Broncos, and Houston Texans. Flores, 45, has accused the NFL of systemic discrimination against black coaches. You remember, I don't know if you remember, he had a 2022 lawsuit. The NFL and several teams discriminated against black candidates for coaching and management jobs in violation of federal and state law. Flores filed a suit after being fired. Get this, after being fired as head coach of the Miami Dolphins, despite the team having a winning record for 2 consecutive years. Now, for 2 years, they've had a great team, but yet somehow they couldn't find their way to win. Is that bizarre or what? With a coach, they're winning. They got a good record, 2 straight years, but they kind of did what, Green Bay Packers have done in the past. You have zero tolerance. So if you don't get what we think you should have, you're gone. Flores alleged that during his career, he was asked to have sham interviews with the Broncos and Giants merely to satisfy the Rooney Rule. Now, that's a 2003 NFL policy that minorities be interviewed for coaching jobs. That's all it is. I got an interview. I have to hire you. I have to bother. NFL adopted the Rooney Rule in light of historically low number of minorities in NFL head coaching positions. And so 2 other black coaches, former Arizona Cardinals head coach Steve Wilks and former longtime NFL assistant coach Ray Horton, later joined Flores as plaintiffs in the lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit seeks to force the NFL to make a series of changes, incentivize teams to hire black coaches and general managers, and require teams to explain hiring and termination decisions in writing. Now, here's what the NFL did. They denied claims of racial discrimination, responded to the lawsuit by arguing that it should either be dismissed or lacked legal merit, or else send it to arbitration. They control the process. Why would you send something to a process that someone else overturned? By the way, on a side note, if you read stuff that you sign up for, you sign up and give away your right to arbitration in most cases. You should read the fine print, the terms and conditions and the policies. They'll tell you in many cases when you sign up for something that if you have a complaint, you have to go to arbitration. You can't sue them. And if you go to arbitration, they get to choose the arbitration place. Makes no sense. A New York State-based federal judge in 2023 ruled that the NFL and the Giants and the Broncos and the Texans must face Flores' claims of systemic discrimination against black coaches in the league while sending their other aspects of the case to private arbitration. It was appealed to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in 2025. They agreed some of Flores' claim belonged in federal court. The Second Circuit ruled that a provision in the NFL Constitution granted Goodall unilateral authority to arbitrate was plainly unenforceable because it would deny Flores arbitration in any meaningful sense of the word. An arbitration agreement that compels one party to submit its disputes to the substantive and procedural authority of the principal executive officer of one of their adversary parties is an agreement for arbitration in name only. That's what Judge Jose Cabranes wrote for the Second Circuit. And if that person is running for re-election, I think they should probably be re-elected. That's just me.
Number 1.
This from NBCnews.com. This is a 911 release of a call. So I don't know if you know, a Michigan State student appeared to be brandishing a knife and running towards officers, and he was shot multiple times in multiple waves of police gunfire. That's according to body cam video of a deadly confrontation a couple of weeks ago. Michigan State University senior Isaiah Kirby, 21-year-old Maryland native, was killed on April 15th. I'm sorry, not May, but April 15th. And a month later was the first time the fatal gunfire was shown to public. East Lansing police were called to Lake Lansing and Abbott Roads on a theft call that evolved into a stabbing by a suspect, which turned into an officer-involved shooting. That's what the department said. Officers' video showed them driving to the scene when a man identified by police as Kirby came running toward them in the middle of the road. Kirby was brought down by an initial hail of gunfire as he ran in their direction. Kirby screamed in agony. He was on his knees as officers ordered him to drop a knife, as if he could do something, like he could get up and run, when he shot multiple times. Police then shot Kirby 2 more hails of gunfire, with the first and the last shots coming 17 seconds apart. Chief investigator for the district attorney's office in Modoc County, California, who was not involved in Kirby's case, but reviewed the video, says he believes the first round of shots was justified. Obayashi, it's Ed Obayashi, the chief investigator from California, conceded the second and third rounds problematic. He said, I get the perspective from a citizen's point of view that Kirby was wounded and not a threat, and it's a valid observation. But as I point out in my training and as court has recognized, consistently, officers are entitled to not to stop firing until they perceive the threat was stopped. But of course, now there are lawsuits involved, and Michigan State Police are continuing to investigate the use of force by East Lansing officers. East Lansing Police identified 4 officers in the shooting, field training officer, and they go on and say their names and all that other stuff. So these are the types of things that continue to happen in our community. These are the types of things that no matter how many times we try to get around it and get out from under it, we are treated less than. When we're running towards someone with a knife, I get it. I understand with a nearly 3-decade experience in law enforcement. I understand that completely. However, at some point, even when you get to the NFL coach having to sue for discrimination, it's unfortunate. You know, you just get tired of looking at all these things that are going on over and over and over and over. And at some point, we have to change this. We have to make sure that those things are taken care of. Hey, if you want to email me anything, matter of fact, let me double check my email, because I told y'all the other day, if you wanted to email me, all you have to do is email me at drkenstruth@gmail.com. And let me double check live while I'm sitting here. While I'm sitting here. Nope, only got one email. So y'all don't love me. Let me check the chat, see what exactly is going on here. Let me see. I said hello to 77. Aaron made it here. Jasmine, hey, what's going on? Okay, Kwanda, that's 2. You only get 3, and then you get blocked. Then we gonna need Lucretia. You ready to take over? Lucretia, you ready to take over? Because she tripping. This is a boomer moment. See, I missed the little things already. Okay, Babar, I'm gonna just block you. I ain't talking about it. So Lucretia, you better be ready. Lucretia better be ready, because you better jump through. Here we go. Let me see. They say the Sincere said they say the truth will set you free. He said the truth just did. Wow. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine said I'm doing great. So there you go. I'm doing great. Quanda says, Sincere, Runner Real, pay attention to the road and not Dr. Ken. Just listen, or you're gonna be on punishment. Then Miles said, yeah, they just found one dead and went missing a couple of weeks ago from my C feed, and it's full of black missing kids from a lot of states. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And they say 77 said that city in South Carolina has a large Ukrainian population. Trafficking is high, organ harvesting. Yeah, something we have to. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to be talking about some things that I couldn't necessarily talk about on the radio, but now that I'm on YouTube, there's some disturbing websites. I was listening to a guy, the Ethical Hacker, on a podcast the other day, and there's some disturbing things that are going on, and we need to start doing some things to help alleviate this stuff. We have to watch over our kids. We got to get back to, I thought about Kawanda. We got to get back to the way the boomers do it, Babar. We got to get back to the way the boomers do it. We really need to get back to the way that we watch over our children and keep our children and make sure, those folks, those bad folks in the neighborhood get their, did I say Memorial Day of Labor? What you talking about? Anyway, I don't know about that. Sounds just like what they did to Kaepernick. Well, if you really want to get into what Colin Kaepernick did, when you have a contract, it's a personal services contract, and you work for them, and they do what they tell you to do. You do it, and we're talking, several tens of, if not hundreds of millions of dollars that somebody's paying you. I think, it's just me, I think it's indentured servitude, except it's not indentured. I guess it's paid servitude. I don't know. Sounds like slavery to me. If you control my life that much, that's slavery. And so when you're told not to kneel and you kneel, well, first of all, you're in America. You got a right to do it. You have a right to kneel. But what you can't do is complain when there's backlash and you get pushback. And had he stood up to it and didn't, whine and complain about it, I would have had more respect. I think now I don't disrespect Colin Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick is a man of his word, a man of his integrity, and he stood up and did it. However, when you get pushback, you got to kind of, suck it up, Buttercup, because people are going to push back. I'm glad he did it. I think that it showed that we have significantly narrow minds in this country, and that in the end, hopefully justice will prevail. Hopefully people will have the dignity and respect of another person and give them the dignity and respect that they deserve. However, you can't complain when you do something, even if you're standing up and doing the right thing, and people complain. That's just how life is. And you just have to get rid of it. Since Sir Chan said, unfortunately, it appears that his motive for the lawsuit was clearly predictor for him being fired, which essentially seems to be a bit retaliatory on his behalf. You got to remember what your grandparents and your great-grandparents and your parents said. You're held to a higher standard, so you have to do, in 2026, 3 times as good in order just to be considered equal, but you'll never be considered equal. You have to be perfect. And unfortunately, in a game where you got 11 people on both sides of the ball and 22 other people control your future, that can't always be. But when you have a winning record, and that's what they expect you to do in 2 consecutive years, and they get rid of you, either there's something we don't know, or they're just discriminatory. So, yeah, that's just how it is. Miles said, T-Lo said, we need to get back to the village mentality. I like the village mentality, but only to a point. Only to a point. But you also have to remember the village mentality was at a time when time was simple. We had interaction. We had conversations face to face. We didn't have social media. We didn't have every place where you can just put people on blast and gaslight people, and there's nothing they can really do about it. Now, if you're smart, when people gaslight you, don't even respond. Don't even bother. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Let me go back and check this poll. I wanted to check on this poll because I put a poll out earlier as to is the story I talked about with Black kids doing great things across the country and increasing their reading scores and proficiency by 36% since 1971. Is that a good thing? Is this positive for Black kids? 55% said yes, 9% said no, and 36% said don't know yet. Well, we'll see. We will see exactly what's going on. So I want to say it's been great being here. Every day I'll get a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more to the point where we'll be here, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know. We'll do it. But I'm gonna dive in. And in order for things to move along, that I'm gonna need you to do some things like call. You know, I'll have a phone number available. I got a Google number, so you'll be able to call it, and I'll talk to you on the air live. And we could do that as well. We'll look at video and look at other things for you to see all the work that I do. I ain't gone yet, Quanda. Stop saying bye. But I ain't even left yet. And she's like, okay, see you later, bye. She got stuff to do. Are you working? Quanda, are you working? Are you working? Sincere said, Dr. Ken in the Closet Radio, I don't know if I should ask you to come out or not. You know, you need a background and some scenery. No, I don't. I'm good now. I'm good like I am now. It's going to grow as it grows. Let it happen organically. Y'all need to calm down. I had a green one behind me. It looked like I was inside some fruit, so I can't do that. So you already did 2 hours and 5 for 5 years. Let's make it 3. I don't know. Quanda says she rolling out. All right, see you later. Dr. Ken, thank you for your time today. Thank you, SE. See, people appreciate me, so I appreciate that. And it's cool. I mean, you know, I'm all right with it. I'm all right. Y'all give me trouble. Y'all harass me all the time and make me feel bad, but I guess I just gotta suck it up. I guess I gotta do that. So y'all just treat me so bad, but that's okay. I'm hanging there. I'll be back. I'll be back on tomorrow at 4:00 Central Time. So, you know, I guess Sincere finally made it. Appreciate you. Not really a city girl. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll get more and more structured as we go, and as we fill it out, we'll get back to top 5 at 5, and I'm gonna have some guests come in, and we're gonna talk about some issues and things like missing people and all sorts of things. So I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be fun. We'll keep going and growing. Let your friends know to just go in and subscribe, and that way you'll be able to see me each and every day. As I said before, I'm working on a website. We're going to get some swag up because that's how you can support me in doing something simple. You can do something like buy a cup that has Dr. Ken's Truth on it. You can just buy it. I got different colors. I got a black. I got a green. What else did y'all say? And blue. They said they didn't like the gold, so they got rid of it. I'm just saying. So thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Such a boomer moment. Wow. You must like boomers. I'm just saying. Hey, thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine says she's looking forward to it. So there you go. Well, y'all just so hard on the brother. Hey, I want to say God bless. Love each and every one of you. Peace out.
Quiet.
Ticket head. What y'all say? I think it's something
Chicken
like
head.
Oh, I'm out.